Oh man, it feels so good to be back here. Oh yeah, man, this feels so good. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know who y'all looking at. Want to welcome y'all back to another episode of Club Pizzle. I'm of course your host, Pizzle, Don P. Pod God, Unk. You know. Thank y'all for y'all's continued support of this podcast. Thank you for y'all's continued support of this network. Um, Again, I want to thank you guys for your continued messages and everything that you guys sent me last week after the results of the Best of Cleveland thing came out. I got a lot of messages, a lot of outpouring of love. Like I appreciate that. I do. Um, Thank y'all. I do. I appreciate that. Without y'all support, I'm not doing this. No, I'm lying. I'm gonna do it with or without. No, I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But what a week for me. This is my long work weeks, but I'm not even gonna bore y'all with none of that shit, man, because it really doesn't matter. I am able to get here. I know I was supposed to do a couple of I'll name this segment later. I haven't gotten to those, but be ready to tune in this Saturday morning. I will be doing Pizzle's picks, and it will be for WWE's Clash at the Castle. That is going to be in the morning time, and sometime in the afternoon or maybe Sunday I'll do the recap, or maybe I don't know, man. Just look for the recap. I'm gonna pick them and then I'm gonna recap the show. So just look for that. That might be Saturday night. That might be Sunday. I really don't know. I want to do a watch along for one of these one day. I do want to do some watch alongs come football season. That is some things that I do have planned. I want to do more. I want to expand the network. Um, I have a projector screen that I have yet to really play with this year. I tried it out a little bit last summer in my garage just to kick it. But that's about it. You know, I'm gonna do a couple of watch alongs, crank on the projector screen, watch the games. And I can probably and I'm looking at my setup down here and seeing where I can actually put it and do it at. I know exactly how I can do it and get it done. I just bought some new stuff down here. Just trying to get my area, just trying to get the lighting and all of that stuff right, man. I'm working at this thing, man. This home studio. Also another quick announcement. Full disclosure will be returning next week. Let me clap it up for that. Um, I had an opportunity to speak with Jocelyn this week. Her work schedule is crazy, but the show is going to go on. She is still going to be a part of it. But what I'm going to do for full disclosure is I'm going to have a rotating panel of female guests just to keep the show consistent. Like a lot of people do like full disclosure. A lot of the women, like my women supporters, really don't give a shit about sports, but they care about full disclosure. So that's something that I'm going to be giving to y'all. I'm going to be bringing that back. I'll have a rotating panel of co-hosts. My first uh, co-host, and she'll probably do a few episodes with me, is my good friend Tamia Reed. Shout out to Tamia. She's striking up her new pod, Tea Talks, which is 9 times out of 10 going to be a part of the Happy Hour Network. Me and her have been chatting and working. So that's going to be that. I'm going to get her together. She's going to be a part of this network. She's going to be a part of Full Disclosure for a few episodes and maybe going forward. I don't know. Like, I just got to see how these things play out. Next weekend, Battleground is happening next Friday. Mr. Shredder, shout out to my guy. Gang is in the building. We will be at Exotic Cuisines next Friday. Quick programming note: Club Pizzle will be on next Wednesday instead of next Thursday, because next Thursday I'll be down at the Funny Bone supporting my guy Lex Vegas as he takes the stage down there. I gotta go support my guy. I am so proud of him. Like, Lord knows how proud I am of my guy. So just be ready to get next Wednesday. Club Pizzle will be on a day early just so I can go to the show. I thought about pre-recording and drop. No, I'm just going to put it out Wednesday. Whatever happens Thursday is going to happen. You know what I mean? And hopefully what I'm wanting to happen happens. And if it happens after that, I'll get to it. But y'all know what time it is, man. We are here for a good time and not a long time. Let's get right to it, y'all. The NBA Finals. It is fucking over, okay? Over. It's over. The Boston Celtics claimed a victory last night over the Dallas Mavericks in Game 3 to go up 3-0. Now, no one's ever come back from 3-0, and it's going to happen at some point, but it's not happening this year. It's not happening, y'all. I hate to tell y'all this, but this series is over either tomorrow night or on Father's Day. This thing is over with. The Boston Celtics in the last 2 games have shot the worst from 3 points that I've ever seen, especially Game 2. To shoot that bad, what were they, like 7 for 35 or 6 for 30 something? To shoot that bad from 3 and still win. That should have told y'all what y'all needed to know. So everybody out there, all of y'all who picked the Dallas Mavericks in 6, ooh, those posts aged well. I got receipts on all of y'all. I saved all of y'all posts. So y'all know what I'm going to do when this series is over with. I'm under y'all posts. I saved all y'all posts. I'm going to put, oh, this aged so gracefully. I'm on y'all ass. My timeline and my news feed is kind of quiet. It's even been quiet during the games. Even when Dallas started off the last 2 games as quickly as they did, it's been quiet. It's been real quiet. It's been church mouse quiet. Jaylen Brown, listen, all the talk about Jaylen Brown for the last couple of weeks about him not being marketable and all of this shit, like the Stephen A report, and then Gil's Arena commented on it. Shannon Sharp and Ocho commented on it. Cam and Mace commented on it. On It Is What It Is. Every sports pod and every sports outlet out there has something to say about that. Everybody's opinions were different and pretty much on point. Nobody was wrong. Because if you look at Jaylen Brown is a great guy. Like, you see the guy, like, you can tell he's a bright dude. He's a Cal Berkeley guy. Smart dude. Got money. He said he's single. So, you know, dude, he hooping. He ain't worried about none of the other bullshit. There's a reason why he got the biggest contract in NBA history for now, because that's probably going to change this offseason or maybe in the next couple of off seasons. Biggest contract. You know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is chomping at the bit. You know, Jason Tatum might get a little bump. Guys like Pablo Banchero. Oh, wait. Victor Wembanyama. It's a couple of years down the line, but he about to get paid. Y'all see what's going on with the NBA contracts. I am going to do some content about that. I was waiting on that stuff to finalize. I didn't want to talk about it until it was finalized, but it seems to be final now. So I will be talking about that. We'll get to that next week or maybe next weekend, something like that. But this Celtics team is balling. Kristaps Porzingis, pleasant surprise, came out in game 1 and game 2 looking great before he got injured. As a Cavs fan, and I'm gonna just throw this out there. As a Cavs fan, I would love for Evan Mobley to play like Kristaps Porzingis played in those first 2 games. He was taking that face-up jump shot. I was so sad sitting here. I was, y'all. I was sitting at home and I was so sad. I wanted to fucking cry. I did. Just to see how he was doing it on the offensive and the defensive end. But he got 2 dogs. Actually, he got 4 dogs because Derek White is a dog and Drew Holiday. Let me get Drew Holiday something. Drew Holiday in game 2 and just throughout this entire series has been playing his ass off. He has been balling the fuck out. And you can't deny it. There's no denying what he's doing or what he like. You can't deny it. There's nothing that anybody can say or do about it. He has held Kyrie Irving in check. Kyrie Irving in those first 2 games did not look good at all. And even in game 3, he worked a little bit for it. He's done a great defensive job. Kobe White the same, and he put up a couple points and hitting his threes when he has to hit his threes. The Celtic bench, Al Horford, the ageless wonder. We laughed. I laughed when it's like Al Horford's coming back. I did. I laughed at the beginning of the year. I laughed my ass off. But these guys, Joe Mazzulla has done a fantastic job with this group. And this group, as long as they have been together, conference finals run since 2018. Some of the pieces and parts have changed. No Marcus Smart anymore. Couple of other guys aren't there anymore, but Brown and Tatum remain. Al Horford remained after leaving for Philly for a couple of years. Derek White was around for a little bit, but just watching this team, 2018 conference finals, 2019, I don't think they made it. No, they didn't make it in 2019. In the bubble conference finals, 21. I'm trying to think if they got there or not in 21. 21 was the Bucks, right? Yeah, that was the Hawks. That was the Hawks and the Bucks. So 21 didn't get there. 22 got there. Last year got there. 22 got to the finals. 23 conference finals. 24 1 game away from an NBA championship. It takes time. Cleveland takes a little time. Okay, just want to throw that out there. Kyrie has shrank, and it's partly because of the defensive job that they've done on him. They've run 4 different guys out there at him. Probably more than that. Luka is balling, but come on, y'all. Let me sit up. And let me talk for a minute. I love Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is on my list of guys that I love to watch basketball and that I wish would play basketball forever and play basketball for 20 years. He's right up there. LeBron is at the top of my list. Greek is right there. Luka is right there. Then it's Ja and it's Shea. And Ant-Man. And I'm leaving off one of my guys. I know I'm leaving off somebody. Spider, of course. I mean the Cavs. I have to throw a Cav in there somewhere. I know I'm leaving somebody off my list, but that's pretty much it. Bron, Greek, Luka, Ja, Shea, Ant-Man. Bron's on his way out, so my fave 5 is going to be Greek, Luka, Ja, Shea, Ant-Man. Possible faces. That face talk is look a little different. It's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. Luka is balling, and I have a question. And I hate to do this, and I'm not kicking nobody's back in. I'm just gonna ask: do y'all really watch basketball, or do people just watch the highlights? Because I see people posting about Luka Doncic not being able to play defense. Come here. He's never been able to play defense. Never, ever able to play defense. He came in this league as a guy who can score, get buckets. Never known for his defense. His feet are too slow. He can't move. He can't guard. I know y'all watched the Minnesota Timberwolves series. I know y'all seen him not playing defense. He didn't guard Ant-Man. He didn't guard Jaden Daniels. He didn't guard Mike Conley. He guarded whoever the fuck they had camped over in a corner. He wasn't moving. He was taking breaks on defense so he could go and run it up on the offensive end. Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics, not on my watch, big dog. We gonna get you in these pick and roll actions, and we gonna make your ass defend. And that's what they've been doing. Jaylen Brown has been using him like crazy, tearing his ass apart on the defensive end. But that's not hard to do because Luka Doncic is not known for defense. He's always been a bad defender. How the fuck are people just now seeing this? That just shows me that people do not watch basketball, or they just watch the highlights, or they just read the fucking stat sheets. The dude does not play defense at all. He's never going to make an all-defensive team. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or when the fuck ever. He will not ever be known as a top defender in this league. Let's not be surprised by that. Offensively, he is balling. They are making him work harder for his points, but he is balling. Drew Holiday's got on him a little bit. Derek White has guarded him, as well as Brown and Tatum. Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, everybody, they've thrown guys at him. And it's, hey, PJ Washington, you're not going to beat us. Daniel Gafford, you're not going to beat us. Derek Lively, you're not going to beat us. Maxi Kleber, you're not going to beat us. Tim Hardaway Jr., you're damn sure not going to beat us. The defensive job that the Celtics have done, all right, let's see, can you do it by yourself? Luka. Kai, we're going to play defense on you. We're going to one-on-one you. But I got a junkyard dog in Drew Holiday over here. Let's see what you do with that. Jaylen Brown is on his way to win the Finals MVP. Unless Jason Tatum comes out and drops 50 in one of these closeout games. If they close it out and Tatum drops 50, it might be Tatum because Tatum hasn't been shooting well, but look at the stat sheet, man. He's been filling it up. He's been rebounding. He's been getting his assists. He had a 30 ball last night, but Jaylen Brown has consistently been balling and on the defensive end, getting those big blocks and all of that. I think if Jaylen Brown gets the MVP, I don't think Jason Tatum gives a fuck. The only people that give a fuck about stats like that are people that sit on the internet all day and want to talk about people's legacies, which brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about. All this legacy talk on the fucking internet is garbage. These guys do not give a fuck about that. I knew that something was wrong when in 2022, there were people actually saying Steph Curry couldn't be an all-time great or a top 10 or a top 5 all-time great because he didn't win a fucking Finals MVP. How fucking stupid does that sound? A dude with 3 rings, 2 regular season MVPs, one being unanimous. The greatest shooter of all time, playing in his 6th NBA Finals. And people are saying that his legacy is in question because he didn't win a fucking Finals MVP. Cut this internet bullshit out. Nobody gives a fuck about the legacy. That is this new age bullshit. And that's this new age bullshit, new media shit. That's why I'm glad that's why I'm glad Draymond has a pot. That's why I'm thankful for Gil's Arena. Even though Rashad McCants be talking crazy on there sometimes, I get it. Rashad is great though. Like I love him on that show. Without him on that show, it's different. I'm glad for Rasheed Wallace and his pod. I'm glad JJ Redick is out here. Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson. Mark Jackson has his pod. Carmelo Anthony with is it Desus or Mero? Melo has his pod. Pat Bev has a pod. I love that these players have these pods. So, like all of this legacy talk, and don't get me wrong, like Stephen A. Smith is still my guy. I am still a fan of Stephen A. Smith. If I had an opportunity to go toe-to-toe with Stephen A. Smith, you best believe I am jumping at the chance. I am taking off work and I am driving my ass to fucking Bristol, Connecticut, New York City, fucking Hacky Sack, New Jersey, wherever the fuck is at. I'm taking my opportunity and I'm going up there to go toe-to-toe with Stephen A. Smith. But I hate this legacy talk. Jason Tatum is going to be just fucking fine. He's going to be all right. You think Manu Ginobili gives a fuck about having a finals MVP? Motherfucker got 4 rings. You think, I'm trying to think of another guy. We won't throw Robert Horry out there. He's not one of those guys. Clyde Drexler, all-time great. You think he gives a fuck about a finals MVP? Think Ray Allen gives a fuck about a finals MVP? You think Paul Pierce gives a fuck about a finals MVP? No, they don't care. They just don't care. So cut that bullshit. Cut that talk. But this series is over. If not tomorrow, definitely on Sunday. Moving on. Dan Hurley has turned down the Lakers job. I'm clapping it up because 1, I kind of figured that he would, and 2, I don't believe he was as strong as a candidate as they say. I'm with Gilbert Arenas on this one. Cap. Cut the cap. Apparently he turned down a $70 million deal. Listen, I support the Los Angeles Lakers. That's not a job that I want as a first-time coach. As a second-time coach, maybe even my 3rd opportunity as a head coach. That's not a job I want because the expectations are so crazy. And Rob Pelinka is such a fucking doof that if I don't get my shit done in 2 years, I'm gone. I don't need that kind of shit in my life. Seriously. That's just real. Let me Google this real quick. Let me go over this. Because if I am not mistaken, that job, they have switched coaches more than I switch draws, and I got a lot of draws, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's check this out. I'm gonna go through these head coaches over the since Phil Jackson has been gone. I'm gonna run these down. It's not gonna take me long, but let me get to it. Since Phil Jackson in 2011, Mike Brown, season and a half before he got fired and Bernie Bickerstaff took over for him. Mike D'Antoni, 2012 to 2014. Byron Scott, 2014 to 2016. Luke Walton from 2016 to 2019. Frank Vogel from 2019 to 2022. And Darvin Ham from 2022 to 2024. Ain't no fucking way. Even between the Phil Jackson, Rudy T was out in 2 years, a year. He was gone. But that's crazy. Mike Brown, Bernie Bickerstaff, Mike D'Antoni, Byron Scott, Luke Walton, Frank Vogel, Darvin Ham. None of them lasted over 3 years. 2 years and you're gone. You might get a third year. You might get a third year. And Mike D'Antoni was 20 games under 500. Byron Scott was a 227 win percentage. Luke Walton was fucking 50 games under 500. But these last two coaches, Frank Vogel, 127 and 98, won an NBA championship. Darvin Ham, 90 and 74, and went to the Western Conference Finals. And they fired them. They fired. That's not a job that I'm taking. The LeBron factor is one. You don't know how long he's going to be around or if he's going to be there. And two, no draft capital, no cap space. You just got Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and a bunch of dudes. D'Angelo Russell can get the fuck out of town. And I'm speaking as somebody who supports the Lakers. D'Lo can go out of here. Deuces, ooses. It's just a bad situation, man. That situation is it's not a job I would want. But again, what's the name that's out there? J.J. Redick. That's the name that's out there. And James Borrego is the other candidate. So we'll see. Y'all got to excuse me. Let me get this squad down. Where's the squad at? I'm trying to get that today. I'll get that at the end. In other news, the Cavs coaching search continues. The 5 names that I know that I've had interviews or that they are really hot on are the same 5 of the names that I put out there when JB Bickerstaff got fired on May the 24th. Kenny Atkinson, James Borrego, Micah Nori, Dave Yeager, and Johnny Bryant. I called all of those names at the beginning. These are the names that I heard. I'm hearing James Borrego has the inside track. I believe if he comes back, I think he was here. I think he has an interview with the Lakers. If he leaves LA and comes back to Cleveland, James Borrego is going to be the next head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm not upset at that, especially if the rumors that Donovan Mitchell is signing his extension this summer of at least 3 years. And the core 4 will remain together. The core 4 being Garland, Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley. If these 2 rumors are true, James Borrego is your next head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm not upset with that. I'm expecting this to happen. If the NBA Finals ends Friday, I'm expecting James Borrego to be named head coach by Monday. Or if it is Friday or Sunday, I'm expecting James Borrego to be Cleveland Cavaliers head coach at the open of business on Monday. Because the NBA draft is coming up. The NBA draft is 2 weeks off. It's 2 weeks away. So that's what I am expecting here. Okay. Again, I'm just a messenger. If y'all want to complain, y'all can post about it and y'all can complain. I'm just relaying the messages that y'all don't see or that y'all don't get. But I do have it on good merit, have a good source that does tell me that James Borrego is has the inside track and that is getting stronger. And that Kenny Atkinson is in town for an interview, and that Michael Nori is in town for an interview, and that Dave Yeager and Johnny Bryant are on their list. This is a very fluid process by Kobe Altman and Dan Gilbert and Mike Gansey and the gang in the front office of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we are going to let this play out. I am going to watch this play out. Again, Borrego is more than likely the guy. Okay? I'm just a messenger. If y'all want to cry and complain, tweet the fucking Cleveland Cavaliers. Don't tweet at me. Don't at me in nothing. Talk to the Cleveland Cavaliers if y'all are not happy with the move that they fucking made, okay? Okay? Leave me alone. I was putting up a couple of posts on my Facebook this week, and it was quite funny. It's just a couple of guys that I think will look great in Cleveland Cavaliers uniforms. And there's not a chance in heaven or hell that we get any of these guys. And that is only because I'm not expecting any big moves. And in order to get one of these gentlemen, one or more of the core four would have to go. Brandon Ingram will look great in wine and gold next to Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. That's a fucking big three to get excited about. Jimmy Butler in wine and gold. Give me Jimmy G buckets. Paul George. Love Paul George. Paul George is another guy that I love to watch. If I made a list of like 10 or 15, he's in that. Love PG's game, offensively and defensively, when he's healthy. Mikal Bridges, y'all know he's one of my favorites. Offensively, y'all know he can get busy. He's a little inconsistent, but he gets busy. But he's also an all-world defender. There's not a chance in heaven or hell that we get any of those guys. Expect the Cavs to bring in somebody like a Royce O'Neal, something like that. Nothing major, nothing big, just nothing crazy. Don't expect Garland and or Jared Allen to be moved, at least not in the offseason. Maybe going into the season, you see what happens. You see how the team responds. You see how the team plays. And then maybe before the deadline, you make a move. But there's no chance in heaven or hell that happens. That any of those four guys. Before I get out of here, I told y'all we'd be here for a good time and not a long time. The 2024 Paris Olympics women's basketball roster has been announced, and Caitlin Clark has been left off the team. There are a lot of people. This is a huge story for whatever reason. Looking at this roster, I don't see why the fuck it is. People are talking about business. Nobody gives a fuck about the business aspect of the fucking Olympics. The Olympics are going to have high ratings no matter what. If it's going to be a million stupid people saying, I'm not watching the Olympics because of Caitlin Clark's not playing, nobody gives a fuck. You are not the viewer that we're trying to attract. People that watch the Olympics are people like me who are just sports nuts that will be up at the ass crack of dawn and turning on NBC and turning on Peacock to watch fucking equestrian prelims. I am an Olympic and I cannot wait for the NBA Finals to end so I can flip that Olympic switch because it's coming. And I am going to be talking about it. Y'all don't think that I'm not going to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson on this fucking show? Do y'all not think that I cannot wait to talk about Simone Biles right here on Club Pizzle? I am an Olympic person. I fucking love it. The boxing, equestrian, fucking even the Winter Olympics, the curling. Are you fucking kidding me? I am all in on the Olympics. The Olympics are for people like me. I'm going to watch no matter what. Y'all fucking idiots, we don't care. Caitlin Clark, listen. I am a couple of things. One, I'm kind of glad because this girl has played deep into the NCAA tournament for 2 years in a row. She went from Final Four like 3 weeks. She was getting drafted, and 2 weeks after that, she was playing in the fucking WNBA. This Olympic break is going to be good for her. It is. 2028, her and Angel Reese both. And Camila Cardoso is Brazilian, so she's going to be somewhere else. But the future is Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Juju Watkins, Cameron Brink, Paige Buchers. That's the future of women's Olympic basketball. And look at this roster. Who the fuck is she replacing off of this roster? You got Aja Wilson, best player in the world. You got Sabrina. You got Brittany Griner. Congratulations, Brittany, on you and your wife having a baby. Congratulations to Brittany. I know my guy, Mr. Shredder, was at home crying and sad over that. Shout out to my boy Shred. I sent him the pictures and he got a good laugh out of it. Shred, no, you know you my guy, so I fuck with you, so I'm gonna fuck with you. Diana Taurasi, Nafisha Collier, Jackie Young, Breonna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Jewel Lloyd, Chelsea Gray, Elisa Thomas, and Kalia Cooper. It's basically the Los Angeles. It's basically the Vegas. It's basically Vegas, the Liberty, the Mercury. Pretty much the best players on those 3 teams, and then you throw in Taurasi because Taurasi's legacy. This team has won 7 straight Olympic gold medals. It's going to be number 8. Who cares if Caitlin Clark didn't make it? Caitlin, get you some rest, get you some jump shots up, get you some sleep. You ain't got to worry about the travel. Take these couple of weeks off, get your body back together, and get ready for a stretch run of a WNBA season where your team is probably not going to make the playoffs and have the possibility to draft Paige Buchers to go with you in the Leah Boston and get the rest of those motherfucking sorry-ass players on that team out of there. That's that. Last thing before I get out of here, rest in peace to the great Jerry West, who passed away yesterday at the age of 86. Jerry West was a basketball lifer. He gave 60 plus years of his life to the game of basketball. Great player at the University of West Virginia, where his number 44 is retired, came to the NBA, one of the greatest players ever, went to 9 NBA finals, the only player to win finals MVP on a losing team. The guy is the NBA logo, for crying out loud. Retired, became a head coach, left coaching, and became one of the greatest general managers and architects of the modern era. Rebuilt the Lakers twice and had a hand in the Golden State Warriors dynasty somehow. The late, great Jerry West, y'all. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but rest in peace. Prayers and condolences go out to Jerry West and his family, to Laker Nation, and to everybody whose life he touched. There's been an outpouring of love for him. So again, Godspeed, the late, great Jerry West. And with that said, y'all, we're going to wrap this thing up. Again, I want to thank y'all for y'all continued support of this podcast and of this platform. Remember, full disclosure, we'll be back next week. Remember, this Saturday, Pizzle's Picks, Clash at the Castle edition, and a Clash at the Castle recap. I am going to try to do more wrestling content. I am going to try to watch some AEW. I might just watch the pay-per-views and recap the pay-per-views. I might do some TNA stuff. I might do some New Japan stuff. The wrestling stuff is coming. I'm gonna do something big for SummerSlam too. At least I'm planning on that. I'm gonna be there, but like that weekend, my guy's gonna be in town. I might do like a little SummerSlam picnic that Friday night before. Throw a brisket on the grill. You know how I do. I get busy on the grill, but y'all know how it is, man. So just be in tune for that, man. Also have something else that I am going to be talking about. I'm gonna talk about it next week. Y'all know what it is, man. Always protect your peace, protect your energy. The message is more important than the messenger. And creators, be great. Stay positive, because negative energy is trash. Remember, Club Pizzle next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Deuces, ooses.